Hi, it's Emily, or Emmy Rose 22A, and welcome to Crafty Accountability, a place to keep me accountable on my crafty adventures while sharing them with you. Today is Friday, August 6th, 2021, and this is episode 9. Hi, it's been a while. I'm just kind of starting from ground zero. I've wanted to record for a while since the last one, and it just hasn't happened, and here we are. Finished is better than perfect, I guess is what I'm going with. My wall is very blank. We have a new office space that's not quite finished yet, so hopefully that'll be done in the next couple weeks and I'll be able to have some cute background. It's much better. I feel the blank canvas is much better than my uber cluttered craft room, which is still an uber. It's even more cluttered because the stuff from this room ended up in there, so it's even worse than it was. So let's just get into it, shall we? I do have a couple of finished objects, but I don't have either of them. The first thing I wanted to share with you is I did make a couple of cowls for a charity project. It was the Honoring Navajo Women Elders Cowl Project, sponsored by Knit for Peace in collaboration with Adopt a Native Elder. They were asking specifically for the pattern was the Funnel Cowl by Claire Russell, and I knit two of them. One was in Malabrigo Rios Aguas, and the other was in Barocco Ultra Alpaca. And I don't have the color number down. They use numbers. It's a really pretty blue. And I will insert a picture of those here. And my husband dropped those off last week to Blazing Needles, a local yarn store down in Salt Lake, who was collecting them. So it's a really fun pattern. It's a lot like a dicky or a nice like cowl flares to go under a coat. I think it will be great for that. I did the turtleneck length. There's a lot of options in the pattern and the turtleneck can be rolled over, or it can be folded up. I was kind of playing with it while it was on, and if you flip, like especially the back part up, it can go up over your ears. So I really think if you had a hat on and then you had the cowl up over, you'd be able to have like zero penetration of wind or whatever, so it'd be super comfy. I knit the largest size stitch counts, but I did the depth measurements for the medium size, and that allowed me to use virtually my full skein on both my yarns. I used right at 100 for the one and 96, I think, grams for the other. So pretty much finished them off, which was nice. That's kind of what I wanted. Not a lot of leftovers, most bang for my buck. And it always feels good to use your superpowers for good. The other project isn't specifically, it's Yarny related, but it's not specifically knit or crochet. It was actually weaving, which I have never done before. I bought a Katrinkles darning loom. I'm gonna whip it out here so you guys can kind of see this super fun. This goes under your work. This part does. There's a rubber band that goes around it to hold the work on top of it. You put your hole here near the flat part, and then you have a heddle that you put. Oh, you put this on the top before you put the rubber band in, because the rubber band can go around the grooves. But it holds your fabric in place, and the rubber band, let's see if I can get this on here while holding it up. And the rubber band holds the heddle in place. So you warp by taking stitches down here and then wrapping it around the loops up there. You create the warp of your loom, and then I just tacked down here and just went the other way and tacked on each side as I went. My niece has a beloved, we call it Minky, but it's one of those fuzzy blankets that she's had forever. I don't even know. She's had it for over 10 years, maybe 15. It got a little hole in it. And it started out as a teeny tiny hole, and it kind of started growing, so she was a little concerned and wanted it fixed. And I wanted to do, I had thought about just like sewing some other like polar fleece over the top of it just as a patch. And then when I've seen people using the, what's the other one, the Speed Weaver, I think is what the other one's called, that I've seen people using. So I thought I wanted to try that, and I used some yarn I had on hand. It was a Araucania Housego color 5. It is a 100% extra fine merino wool, so it's 100% wool, not superwash, and that's kind of what I wanted. I thought maybe if it felt a little bit would help. And what I did, the hole was only about yay big, like not super big. That's helpful. Anyway, not a great big hole. So what I did is on the back of the blanket, I kind of went just outside of the hole with my little weaving patch. And then on the front of the blanket, I went a little bit bigger than that so it encompassed the back part. And my hope / thought is as it gets used and washed, those two will felt together somewhat and create a new fabric to hold that together and to stop the fraying. So the whole fraying area is enclosed in both patches. So hopefully her blanket will live. I'll put a few pictures in here, and I'll put one of the whole blanket held up, and the hole is just in the bottom. It's in one of these sides, but it's just teeny tiny, and the yarn I picked blended quite well. It's not invisible, but it's not a big glaring thing, and she's thrilled to have her blanket back and have it be fixed. So I'll put some pictures of the hole and a close-up of the little woven area and the blanket here. So that's pretty much all I've finished. And I will put, I try to do show notes down below, so I will put a link to the Katrinkles website and the darning loom. I did get the additional heddles as well. It's this is what comes with this kit, is this, your darning tool, and then this small heddle. And I got the extension kit, which comes with 3 different, they're this wider heddle for bigger holes, and then there's there's the fine tooth, the medium tooth, and then the bulky tooth. So if you're repairing a sweater or something, or a hat that's a bulkier yarn, you might need the bulkier heddle to do that. So I figured since I was ordering it, I might as well get all the parts so that I could use it for anything I want to use it for. So I told my husband, I'm like, I almost want holes and stuff so I can fix them. I'm kidding, please don't put holes and stuff. But that was my first experience weaving as well, and it was a lot of fun. And my mom's like, oh great, so does your husband know he's gonna have to be buying you a weaving loom now? I'm like, I don't know that that's gonna happen, but who knows what I'll do. So I will move on to my works in progress. Oh, and my works in progress are somewhat related to my top that I'm wearing. I should have started out with this, what I'm wearing today. This is my Twisted t-shirt by Brianna Lupino, the Little Wolf Knits. I was a pattern tester for her. This is available now. I knit mine in Madeline Tosh Twist Light in the colors Penumbra and New Moon. And the colors are just gorgeous and perfect. It has twisted rib, and then the raglan has a twisted detail on it. And I'll try to stand up here. I don't know how much, you can totally see it. And the twisted detailing runs down the side of the top as well. So on both sides. So I just thought it's a super fun detail. Mine hits, I don't know if you can see, there's like the top of my pants, it hits right up. So when I reach up, you can see my belly if I'm reaching around and stuff, but in general it hits the top of my pants. It is designed as a crop top. I did add 2 inches of length to mine to get that little bit. I think it's a great place to hit for me. I don't need a bunch of skin just showing, but I don't mind a little peeky here and there. And then My arms tend to be a little large, so from this, based on the schematic, I had to add an inch to my arm circumferences, and they fit great. Like you can see the ribbing like touches all the way around, but it is not tight at all. I don't mind it touching all the way around. I hate a sausage casing on my arms. That's an issue I have with ready to wear is I'm a smaller bust, and so the arms, I have a hard time with arms of shirts. So and that kind of leads me into my only yarny work in progress right now. Well, active work in progress. I'll talk about that in just a minute. But is I am working on, and it's just kind of bunched up on the needles, I'm realizing, but get out of there, yarn, so people can see. This is the Twisted Tea shorts. So mine are a little bit looser fit, so they're going to be more, in my mind, like a lounge short. And this yarn is Knit Pick Stroll tonals in Pearlescent and Seashell. I knew I wanted a soft pink for my shorts, and I'm testing. This is a test pattern also, so it is not released yet. But the waistband is a fun fold over. It's stockinette on the inside, the twisted rib on the outside, and then it's got there they are. I was looking for my drawstring holes. It's got holes for a drawstring, so it will have an I-cord drawstring. I have not done mine yet, but I'm super excited. Just wanted something in a soft pink. I knew that. So this yarn's working up great. It feels awesome. So I'm excited. I really think like a cute tank top or something would be really fun to wear with these. And I think Brianna might have a couple tank tops coming up. So, you know. Some of the testers are doing their shorts to match their tops, but that's not kind of what I wouldn't, for me, like I said, these are going to be, I believe, more lounge shorts, maybe like a swimsuit cover up type thing, but not a wear out and about like this top is. I've already worn it out. I've only worn it out the once, but it is dead middle of summer, so, and I don't go a whole lot of places, so I haven't had a whole lot of opportunity to wear it. So, but my friends will I need to knit more because my friends are going to be sick of this one because I just love it. So I'm really excited about the shorts. I was a little maybe apprehensive about spending so much time on knit shorts, but it's such a fun pattern to work up. I'm doing, and it does have the same, you do raglan increases on this as well for and it's got the same like twisted detail on the raglan. Sorry, they're looking like they're pointing, but they don't. So it's got the same twisted detail on the raglans on that the top has. So, and I really enjoy that look. So I'm excited to see how they're going to work out. After I split, it will finish with some ribbing on the bottom of the legs in the pearlescent also. So that's super fun, and that's what I'm spending most of my time on right now. I do have yarn coming for 2 other pattern tests that I'm doing. So it should be here next week. So those will be kind of running concurrently with this. I'm just trying to crank on this to get a little ahead on it, to make sure I don't get distracted or overwhelmed. They do kind of overlap, and I am kind of cutting it with my time. I just need to manage my time really well to be able to get all 3 done on time. They will be done as they need to be, but I just have to manage my time well. So I was kind of hoping to get ahead on this one. And that's why it's my only active like knitting or yarning work in progress. And I was just going to clarify, I don't know if I've ever clarified this before, but to me, in Emily's world, a work in progress is something that I am actively working on. I will casually refer to things as whips, but most of my cast-ons, my starts, are actually UFOs because I cast them on, I work on them, and then I don't touch them for a while. So I'll only be sharing active whips, and I guess maybe there's an active whip, and then there's an inactive whip, and then there's a UFO. Like a UFO is like long gone, not even on the radar versus I do have 2 or 3. I have a sock going, I have a washcloth going. Those two are, well, it's not my first sock. I think it's my third sock, but I have not successfully knit a sock that will fit on my foot and is wearable. So it's my hopefully first successful sock, but I haven't touched that in a while. And the dishcloth is just I tend to take the dishcloth for like my doctor office waiting and stuff, which I don't do a whole lot of anymore, but just because I don't mind if I drop a stitch or something on that and have to fix it. It's not a huge deal. So I don't mind just shoving it in the bag and going and then figuring out what I'm doing later. I do have an Advent shawl that I really would like to get done before Christmas. It's a Christmassy color one that it's beautiful, and I picked it up and kind of put a couple more minis in it, and I love it, but I haven't touched that in a couple months. I know I have other things too. I have a sockhead hat that's just kind of a casual, working on it when I work on it, when I want some somewhat brainless stockinette in the round, which really, I mean, this has raglan increases, but it's a lot of just stockinette in between. So it's working great for my soothing stuff. Anyway, those are inactive whips, so I'm not going to share and update progress on those right now. I have done a tiny bit of sewing, but I thought this was kind of fun and interesting, so I thought I would share it with you. We bought my daughter a couple of outfits in the fall, and they were this really cute. There were a set of leggings, so there were a couple different leggings. That's not showing up super great. These are stripy, and then these little tops. So, just a cute. We got these at Kohl's, I think, and we have 2 sets of them. Well, by the end of by this spring, they were starting to get where the sleeves were a little bit short and the pants were a little bit short. And my daughter does not like she was tugging on the sleeves. She's 3, but she was tugging on the sleeves, and she's constantly fixing her pants, so they were kind of fiddly. So she's very thin but long-limbed. So it's the length that was the issue, not the sizing on them. So I took this set. I'm going to do the other set too, and I made them into little shorts and a short sleeve shirt. So what I did for the shorts, we bought her a pair of little biking shorts to go under a dress, specifically to go under a dress. They called them biking shorts, but they're just like this. But they're shorter than I would like. They hit at an okay length on her leg, but then as she gets playing, they eke up. And we went to a splash pad where we didn't know how wet she was going to get or anything, so I put her in those because it's similar-ish to a swimsuit without being in a swimsuit, because I didn't think she needed a full swimsuit. Anyway, and it worked out fine, except for like they were kind of eking up a little, and she's covered, it's probably fine. So but the thing that killed me about those is the leggings are $5. These bike shorts are $4.50. So I mean, 50 cents for this little bit of leg. I'm like, I'm not buying her a bunch of those where they're shorter than I like. So I took her bike shorts that she has and I laid them on here, and I cut the pant off 1.5 inches longer than I wanted, and then I folded it under, and I don't even know if you can see the stitching, but I actually hand hemmed these. You can't even see a hemline on the outside. Not that that super mattered to me, but I Googled like hand hemming knits, and I found a great tutorial it's called the faggoting stitch, and this is hand stitched with like polyester thread. If you straight stitched, you'd never get that much stretch out of it. So it stretches amazingly, and it's invisible on the outside. And then for the shirt, I just took one of her t-shirts that fits really well. Well, you might actually be able to see this one a little better I don't know if the thread will show up or not. Sorry, I'm on my phone. I don't know how well it focuses on these things. Like I can't see in the monitor that the thread's showing very well, but anyway. And I put one of her t-shirts that I like the way it fits on there, and I cut it 1/2 inch further. And then again, hand stitch those. And it didn't take me very long to just hand seam them. She's worn the outfit. It looks really cute on her. I don't have any pictures yet because she's being a little bit of a goose about that, but that's all right. That's fine. So I needed her to try them on to make sure I liked the length of the shorts. And when she puts them on, they hit right above the knee. And as she's playing, they ride up that extra inch or two, which is like the perfect place. It's where those other shorts start after she's been playing. So it's a great length in my opinion. So I'm really excited about that because she would not be able to wear this outfit this fall. I mean, it would just be too, the pants would be too short and the sleeves would be too short. And you don't want that when it's cold anyway. So I love the repurposing of getting us like summer outfit out of an outfit that she won't be able to wear in the fall anyway. So, and we still have plenty of summer, like warm weather left here in Utah. So, so I'm really hoping, what I really like is to get a picture of her in the outfit like before. And here, I'll hold up. Maybe if I do this, you guys will be able to kind of see like the before, and then I'd like to get an after, so you can kind of see how they're too small versus how we fixed them, or how I fixed them, I guess. So, and there's, I mean, a lot of the leg came off, it looks like. But I don't like paying a lot of money for her clothes right now, just because she kind of outgrows them, and like she doesn't super care, like, well, she doesn't care at all. Like, she has a couple of tops that she really likes and she'll express an opinion on, but for the most part she puts on what I tell her to put on. Well, and that sounds bossy, but I just pick her clothes out and I'm like, hey, let's get dressed, and they're sitting there and she puts them on and she's happy and we go about our business. So I appreciate the freedom for her to choose what she wants to do, but that's what works for us. And so I'm really happy to be able to kind of upcycle these and be able to give them a second life in another season, because they're way too warm for Utah right now. So I would like to get the other outfit done by next week, hopefully. I'd just really like to get her a picture of her in it before, and if not, I'll just do it and it'll be fine. I just thought it would be fun to be able to share with everybody kind of how I did that, and kind of give you ideas if you've got, especially with kids, like, I mean, she's 3, she's growing constantly. So, I mean, where I know these outfits are not going to fit her in 2 months when she's going to want long sleeves, because they barely fit her in the spring. Like, and it's great for transition pieces too, where you're trying to go from, you know, I haven't done all the summer shopping yet. We only need hot clothes a couple times. I don't want to go out and do a big shopping trip to try to get things. I feel like it's a good alternative for that too. So I will definitely be like doing this more often. And the price difference between a long sleeve shirt and a short sleeve shirt isn't that much. So I really have no problems now. I will probably buy her a few more long sleeve shirts for winter, just knowing that in the spring I'll be able to just cut the sleeves off and then she'll have short sleeve shirts, and it's not like she has to have 2 completely separate wardrobes. So just an idea I really wanted to share. The other sewing project that I haven't been putting a lot of attention on lately, but I am going to, so I'm going for the accountability factor here, is my project bags. I would love to sell project bags on Etsy. And I have been working on an idea for kind of my spin on a project bag, a knitting project bag. My base pattern is the Finch Bucket Bag by Stitch Mischief, Jade. And I'll put a link to her pattern down below. And my kind of variation / take on it is I am doing patchwork with denim. We have a ton of denim, my mom and I. We want to do denim quilts. We have ideas for that. We just sew pretty much whenever anybody in the family has good denim, we take it. And most denim at least has some good, because even if your jeans get, like, if you work on a car and your jeans are just greasy and nasty, The backs of the legs are usually fine. And if it's something like that, we'll wash them, we'll cut off the backs of the legs and chuck the front parts, because like that part's disgusting and can't be used for anything, and that's fine. But at least we're salvaging part of it. And denim is a super durable fabric. We love it for, like, I have a picnic quilt that's denim. Like I said, I currently have 3 denim quilts that I want to cut out fabric for, so I'm kind of hoping to get those like worked on as I'm doing my bags. But here's my favorite part of this one, at least. It's got a pocket. So not every one I make will be able to have a pocket, because there's a lot more leg. My leg to pocket ratios is off. I'll have to have some that are just patchwork and no pocket. But it is a drawstring. It has a handle. I do the denim for the main bag body. It's got a black canvas bottom. I'll have a black canvas bottom. All the top stitching will be done in black. This was my prototype, so I'm changing several things, and I'm working out the full processes and pattern that I want to use for this, because I had to alter just a tiny bit the dimensions to make my patchwork dimensions work, and to make it work for the pocket I had to do just a little bit of recalculations. But this is all Jade's pattern. So and then there are pockets inside that coordinate with the outside. There's see, languishing whip, it's a virus shawl. So, and there are, how did I separate these? Oh, this one is not separated the way I want it to be separated, and that was part of the problem. I thought I wanted bigger pockets on one side, and I don't. So it's gonna have, I think the way, because it's got pockets all the way around, and I think the one side I divide into, so there are 4 pockets, and the other side there will be 3 pockets. So there'll be bigger pockets and smaller pockets. So it does have the pockets inside. I've got these cute labels. This one's kind of low, but I don't know if that's backwards for you or not. I don't know if my camera's smart and fixes it. But they are, I had a stamp made, so it's fabric ink on a ribbon. I stamp it on there and use some interfacing and stick it down and tack it down on the side. So I have labels. I feel fancy having labels. And they're going to be a big variety. I'm going to use a lot of like fabrics from my stash, so there may not be a whole lot of duplicates. There may be some that are duplicates if I have a lot of yardage or whatever. And I have lots of ideas, but I'm a great like starter, and you kind of figure out where it's at, and then I move on to the next thing. So I'm really trying to push myself to see this through all the way. What I'm currently doing is like I've got 10 bags in process, and I'm timing myself for how long. I've got it broken down into steps, and I'm timing myself for how long each step takes, so I can accurately price my bags. Right now I have no clue how much they're going to be, just because I have no clue how long they take to make. The materials aren't that big of a deal. I am planning on pricing them in such a way that if I had to buy denim, I could buy denim. And part of the reason I'm doing that is because there is, well, and that, I guess that goes into my time. Never mind. I'm not taking the denim into account, because I take the time into account. That's part of the cost of the denim, is the time it takes to deconstruct the jeans, because that will be the cost of my denim, is the deconstruction time. Because if I were to buy denim, I would just cut strips and cut squares and sew them all together. But since I have jeans, I need to cut out the seams and have actual fabric. And it's not as easy as just cutting a strip and getting pieces out of it. The legs are tapered, and you really want to be cutting on grain, which I try to do. I can't promise that all of them are. Some of them you can kind of see the grain going across, but I do try to cut them on the grain as opposed to having them on a bias or a tilt. So I mean, you have to straighten up the leg and you lose the sides. I have plans for the scraps. I have also some of the jean retailers. I think I'd have to double check the one I had called. I think it's American Eagle in the mall. They do where you can bring in an old ripped up pair of jeans and you get like a $10 coupon on a new pair of their jeans. And I'm not concerned about that part, but what they're doing with the jeans is they send them off and they get turned into, I believe, insulation is what they're doing with the denim. And so I had called them and they will accept my just like bags of scraps. So all of the offcuts of my jeans will be going to a recycling program. So I love that upcycled aspect of it, and that there's basically no waste from these jeans. So I mean, and we have a lot, like a lot. So I don't need to be like collecting them for any time soon that I need them, but I'm really excited to actually be doing something with that denim and to have, like I said, to have such a purposeful thing. And I have other ideas. I think trying to turn this into like a tote bag so that it's a little more maybe like universal would be beneficial. I have an idea to do the handles out of the waistbands of the jeans, but I haven't played with that because I'm trying to focus on this. Let's get this bag done. Because if I get this one figured out, then all I have to do for the tote bag is say there's no handle on a tote bag and there's no casing. I have those steps broken out, so I can take those pricing out. How long does it take me to prep the straps and install those instead? And I can just alter that little matrix and figure out that that's how much that pricing is. I have some canvas that I found. I had bought some upholstery fabric is what it is for curtains, and I have probably about 10 yards of it, so it's a lot. But I really thought it would be cute to make bags out of that, and I could do, the whole panel would just be the canvas, and the handle would be canvas, the pockets would be canvas, the top would not because the canvas doesn't bunch. I would probably just use maybe the muslin, because these are lined with just plain muslin, like the lining is a heavy duty muslin. So I'd probably just do the casing out of the muslin just for ease of, so it drawstrings better and not to try to have to match fabric. I'm also trying not to like buy a whole lot of fabrics. I have quite a large stash and it's a little bit out of control. So I'm kind of trying to figure out ways, I wanted to figure out a way to kind of work some of that fabric into other projects. And I really I love the kind of contrast of the floral with the denim. I think that's really fun. So yeah, my goal is to have the timing pricing thing all figured out by the end of August, so that I'd really like to get these up on my Etsy site, at least an initial run, by September 1st. Even if it's just a couple of them are fully finished and ready to go, I'd really like to have that done. I feel like expanding after that should be easy. Once I know how long the bags take, I can figure out, okay, so to make one bag takes, we'll say 5 hours. I don't think that's the case, but we'll say 5 hours. Then I know, okay, well, if I want to put 10 bags a month out, that's 50 hours a month. So each week I need to spend this much time. So kind of give me a nice breakdown of how to allocate my time, how to, what realistically I can look to make on these, and then I can start working on my other ideas. So that's coming up on the sewing whips front. My battery's close to dying, so I kind of need to wrap up. I wanted to show you some yarn I bought recently. This, the first yarn I got was from Chromatic Yarns. They were pre-order, I think. It's Hannah from the Corner of Craft. Goodness. She's from the UK, and this colorway is Gift for Lulth. And I got it on her sparkle base, her sparkle sock. And these colors, oh, they sing to me. The blue and it's like Galaxy Nebula. And her colorways are based on D&D. Lulth is they call her the Spider Queen. She is a goddess for the Drow elves, which are the dark elves from the Forgotten Realms series. And we love those. This came up after I had finished reading like the first book in the series. We believe of the main, I think we've figured out of the main canon Just Drizzt books, he's the main character. There are, I think we said 35. maybe, books. So I'm rereading the series. We've got all the books out. They're in order on a bookshelf, so I'm starting over from the beginning. I kind of read them piecemeal before, but there are more than that. I don't remember how many we even counted. There's at least 50 books that characters, offshoot kind of thing. So, but the colors on this were gorgeous. Lolth, I just started reading Drizzt again. I love the Drizzt books. I think he's a beautiful elf, and even though Lolth is a horrible, horrible goddess, and she thrives on chaos and evil, without her we wouldn't have our dear sweet Drizzt, whom I love. So I wanted that. And I figured since I was ordering something with shipping from the UK, which is not cheap, I would get this one also. This is Stardust. And this is just on her sturdy sock. But I thought that was just really pretty, nice and soft. They're not necessarily to go together, but I just thought this was really pretty also. And she was doing a pre-order for it, so I figured I'd get both of them. The other yarn I got, which I'm super excited about, is from Gage Dye Works. And this is it's called Our Solar System. And I got the round trip, which, what she did, my nerd-loving heart just burst when I saw this. It's the planets, and the gray is space in between the planets. And she's gone by the planet's diameter for how thick the stripes are. And it's just beautiful. This postcard came with it, so it gives you like the breakdown of what the different dimensions and stuff mean. So it's the 9 planets. Here's little Pluto out here all by himself, which I concur that he's a dwarf planet, but he'll always be a planet to me. So I love that Pluto's included. And on the back, she's got the actual distances and stuff that she used for calculations. In her description, she explained all the little intricacies of everything she did, and it's so meticulous and beautiful. I love it. But that's the color progression, and because mine's round trip, it goes from here to here and then from here to here. So if you pull from each end, you would get a pair of matching socks, which I don't knit socks yet, so I don't necessarily need sock yarn, and I'm trying not to buy a whole bunch of sock yarn, but I would love to have solar system socks. So my husband bought this for me. And I couldn't be happier. And it's beautiful in this skein too. It's pretty, but you just don't get the power of the solar system from that. And I'm so excited to have solar system socks. So it's even got me more excited to get my sock knitting going. Like I said, I'm waiting on yarn for 2 more tests. And so I will have those 2 hopefully started for next week. I did watch episode 8 before I recorded this, and holy moly did I leave a lot hanging. And I kind of cracked myself up because a couple of things I wanted to take care of are still not taken care of 2 years later. So we'll kind of see how the recording goes. I'd really like to do weekly. I don't know if that's going to be possible. It's getting really warm out. I'm shut up in the office, and it's warm with the doors closed. Hopefully weekly, if not maybe every other week or once a month. We'll see kind of how it goes, and once I figure out what is doable for me, I will let you know what my posting schedule will be. Friday mornings will be my recording. Well, it's afternoon, evening now. It took a lot longer to get set up than I thought it would. But Fridays should be my recording, hopefully posting on Saturdays. If I need content or whatever, I may come back and talk about, do a follow-up to see what happened with all those long-standing projects. Spoiler alert, I did get my wedding dress done, and I got my wedding shawl done. And my daughter got her Easter dress, so the important things got done. Just some of the other things did not, and it just made me chuckle. And it kind of makes me want to fix a couple of those issues, because what the heck, Lee? There's been a lot of life stuff happening in the past 2 years, somewhat obviously, I guess. I'm talking besides the obvious everybody's life stuff. There's just been other things, little family, nothing big, nothing major. We're all good. So I may talk about that at some point too. But for right now, I just wanted to share, and like I said, just help keep me accountable. It really, for the brief period of time that I did these videos, it really did help to say, because once I get off camera, I go in my little Mario notebook and I write down to accomplish for next week. And it's kind of what I've told you guys that I'm going to do for next week. And so it gives me something specific to shoot for, and I don't want to let people down. So it's kind of given me that external motivation, I guess. So I don't know how long my phone's gonna last, so I'm just gonna wrap this up. It's been long enough already anyway. So until I see you guys again, have a rosy ray day. Bye.